Hello everyone, this is Zooraptor coming at you yet again, and today we are going to finally delve into Marvel Land. I'm not gonna call it Avengers Campus because I feel it's a bit too generic. For me, a Disney park should take you into the world of an IP, and I feel Avengers Campus, yeah, it does that to some extent, but I feel it's too grounded in our reality. Like, I would want to go somewhere like to the Guardians of the Galaxy's world where they're in that other planet. I don't remember where they crash landed, and it was at the end of the first movie, and they were all like linked together. That was like another alien planet. And then, of course, you have Asgard with Thor, and I think the majority of the other heroes are some city on Earth. I guess we could do what I did with Star Wars Land in that we just split it up into like 2 to 3 regions. I think I'm going to arrange it a little differently because with Pixar Land and Star Wars Land, like when you enter through their respective gateways, it's like you see everything pretty much all encompassing all at once. Whereas with Marvel, I feel the approach should be to a more layered experience. So continuing on from Uptown's Metropolis aesthetics, pretty much just add more skyscrapers, something for Spider-Man to swing onto. I know Avengers Campus, they're gonna have Spider-Man fly around over the land using some sort of crane mechanic, and I feel like when you envision Spider-Man, you envision him swinging from building to building in the midst of New York skyscrapers, and I feel like that should be replicated. I mean, they could totally repurpose that brick building that they currently have in Hollywood Land that kind of ended up being the meet and greet area for Spider-Man and a lot of the other Marvel heroes. Got a representation of some sort of skyscraper skyline issue thing. I guess we could do Stark Expo. I'm trying to remember how that looked. I was luckily one of the first people who got to see Stark Expo over at Hong Kong Disneyland. And basically the ride itself, I forgot what the ride was called, Iron Man Experience? But it was basically Star Tours, but with an Iron Man skin, and everything was in Cantonese, which I wasn't really familiar with because I'm learning Mandarin Chinese, which is very different from Cantonese. But it was alright because during the ride you have some Cantonese dialogue, but then you have Tony Stark speaking in English to respond to the Chinese dialogue, so you get an idea of what they're saying. Stark Expo, this little convention building. In terms of eatery, I can't really think of any superhero that would really make you think, hey, that would be a good property to make a restaurant out of. I mean, I guess we could have a typical hot dog stand, New York hot dog stand. Everyone seems to want to save New York. That's like one of their favorite places to be a superhero. Yay, made a hot dog cart. So I guess that would be like sort of like the transitional area going from Uptown to Marvel Land. I guess here we can have Asgard. That's my problem with a lot of these Marvel movies. They don't really have an individualized aesthetic to each movie. Like, I would look at one movie compared to another movie and they both, like, visually speaking, they look the same. So even though Thor and like Black Panther, they take place in like completely different environments compared to the other Marvel heroes that have more of like a city or hometown kind of environment. It's like really hard for me to differentiate from movie to movie because of that. And that's partly the main reason why I haven't really gone into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it's just, again, there's so many movies. It's like, what, 22 movies? Which I'm definitely not going to catch up on. I've seen a few. I saw all 3 Thor movies, and then I saw both the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and then I saw bits of Civil War and parts of Endgame. Not so much Infinity War. I just can't get into it. The only Marvel superhero that I'm somewhat interested in Blade, and Blade's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Blade's his own standalone trilogy of movies. And I heard they're going to add Blade into Marvel, which doesn't really make sense to me because he's not like a superhero. He's kind of like guy version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's very much in horror movies rather than the superhero genre. That's how I feel about it. I'm trying not to just like block this whole area off and just say Asgard, but it's like I can't really remember. Like I guess there was that gate area. That's where Heimdall. I'm somewhat familiar with Norse mythology, but I know the Marvel version of Thor has different naming for them. Like Frigg in Norse mythos is Frigga in Marvel because I guess they wanted her name to sound more feminine with Frigga compared to the original Norse name being Frigg. So I guess we could just do some pathway here to make it look like the Rainbow Bridge of Bifrost. And Heimdall has that little podium thingamabobber. Like the structures, they're kind of like a mixture of Greek and other, like a spacey Greek European thing. I mean, I guess people would want to visit Odin's throne room, right? Every king wants to have his high-end fancy chair where he can lord over people. Something to the side. So I definitely would like to go into the world of Asgard, but the movies haven't really delved into them. Like, of course, they're more focused on the individual characters to build up to the Avengers sub-series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm really trying to not just do generic, just like write it out. This is Asgard. I guess you could do Frigg's room, where in Dark World they put Natalie Portman. I don't even remember what her character name was. Jane Foster. Yeah, that's what it was. I really don't want to put in that outdoor theater bit where Loki is disguised as Odin and he's doing that play that makes Thor look really bad. I mean, again, the movies didn't really focus much on Asgard. Yeah, there's Asgard. Then up here, the only other alien environment they've done is all those alien planets for Guardians of the Galaxy. Got Wakanda. I guess we could do something with Wakanda. What was it? His sister was the inventor, whatever. Maybe do Wakanda the restaurant where she's making up experimenting with different foodstuffs, and you get to volunteer to be her test subjects in her laboratory. Wakanda forever. Maybe a statue of the Black Panther here or something. I can't throw out panthers. Nah. Oh yeah, I'm sure people would love to try the, what was that, purple flower thing that gives him his powers. Try the little purple flower treats or whatever. Guardians of the Galaxy, they're doing some sort, I think it's a roller coaster attraction, whatever that entails. I am Groot. So Guardians of the Galaxy can coexist with Tower of Terror without taking it over. Rocket could be next to him. Little raccoon dude. I can't draw Rocket. Guess we could put some rocks here, and then Rocket can be coming from the rocks. He'll be like a little animatronic you take a picture with. Doctor Strange. We can't quite flip the entire area upside down for Doctor Strange, but I guess we could put that temple that he trained in. Once again, forgive me, I'm not familiar with Tibetan architecture. I can sort of recognize it, but at the same time, I sort of can't. Yes, all those years of Asian art history did nothing, because I only studied like Chinese, Japanese, and Indian art history. And Indian art history was just, it was just a blur to me, because a lot of outside of the gods and stuff in Indian art history, I didn't really remember all that much. I couldn't retain a lot of that knowledge compared to Chinese art history, where there was like a lot of distinction and variety in that culture, and then Japanese art history was kind of static up until like the modern age, where you could differentiate stuff with the anime movement. Yeah, Doctor Strange, little portal thingy. So I guess that's kind of two attractions. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and then Tony Stark's Iron Man experience. You visit Asgard or Wakanda. Yep, that's pretty much all I've got. Start coloring Groot. Doesn't have a neck for some reason, so I'm just coloring his neck in. I mean, again, I know Marvel's all about the characters, not so much the environment, but then, I mean, you look at Harry Potter and like all these other different movies, even like James Cameron's Blue Alien Avatars, like at least it takes you to a different world that's not like ours. It lets you be somewhere else. Like, that's always been the magic of Disney, taking you to places that you would never visit in our normal realm, our normal earthly realm. So again, Planet Disney is gonna be that huge plot of land across the Esplanade from the Disneyland and Disney Realm Park. Across from Harbor Boulevard, there's that huge plot of land that's currently being occupied by Best Western, and some other hotels, and a bunch of other restaurants like McDonald's. But if Disney can get that area cleared out, you could totally get this place built. Oh, yeah, I forgot to add a door. How are you gonna get into the ride if there's no door? Actually, I think it was more of a brown. Shuri, that was her name? Tony Stark's Iron Man Expo. Asgard. A lot of gold in their architecture. Let's see, should I make the Bifrost Bridge like an actual rainbow? And there you have it. Marvel Land with New York and all the superheroes that seem intent on saving it all the time. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have made Wakanda so dark. Need to do some purple outlines there, just to make it more futuristic-ish. We got Wakanda, we got Asgard here, we got the Doctor Strange's Tibetan temple, and then we got Guardians of the Galaxy over in this direction, and then we got Tony Stark's Iron Man experience. I think that's the name. Don't quote me on that. Please don't. There you have it. That is Planet Disney. We got Uptown as the central entrance and hub area. Got Pixar Land to the left, and then Star Wars Land is right behind the Millennium Falcon that's headed towards Earth. And then over here we have a whole area dedicated to Marvel Land. 4 lands, but given Star Wars, Pixar, and Marvel just have so much going on with it, they're gonna need all the land they can get. So I think it'll be fine. They have a lot of things they can do in the park. Again, I don't know if I want to. I'm pretty sure we're not going to integrate Fox given the current climate going on. I don't think they're going to start integrating Fox properties into the park, especially given Fox also owns Predator and Alien. And aside from Alien Encounter and Tomorrowland with the original Xenomorph, I can't really see them doing anything with any of the other Fox properties. So that is it for my reboot of the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California. Now, if you guys like what I've come up with, feel free to drop me $1 at my Patreon, my Ko-fi, or my Subscribe Star. If you want, feel free to subscribe to the channel or bookmark it. Either way will work. If you guys want me to go more in depth to any of the attractions that I've come with in the course of this series, I'm more than happy to dedicate a whole video to any one attraction and go in depth with concept art, similarly to what I've done with the 3 parks, Disneyland, Disney Realm, and Planet Disney. If not, I'll just leave the series as is. I might consider doing maybe 1 or 2 videos on ideas that I've come up with but ended up rejecting entirely. That's pretty much it. After this, I'll either add more animation videos to my channel here, or I'm just gonna be uploading more content to my vlog channel at Zero Raptor. Just strip Zero Raptor. That'll be all for now. Till next time, this is Zero Raptor signing off. Laters.